for our next speaker. So as you know, it is day 2 of Global Happy Home Summit. And for those of you that have joined already in the last day and a half now, there's been absolute value of mass proportion from all of the speakers that we've had. And these speakers are really joining forces with me to support families like yours during the current crisis and challenges we're facing, to ensure that our homes can still be a happy one during this challenging time, and to figure out how that's possible. That's why we're all here, to give as much support to you. So we will be a little different during these lives. So again, we've got some tech issues. So you can see another Zoe, who is in the waiting line. And you'll be able to hear my voice, but you won't be able to see me the whole time. But of course, Zoe is the one you want to see and listen to right now. So I'm going to hand it over to Zoe's wonderful face. And there she is. And so, Zoe, it's so nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. And I would love for you to introduce yourself to those who don't know you, and also share what you get to do in this world.
Awesome. Well, my name is Zoe Martin, and I help both mothers and fathers individually and as a team who are gifted children on the spectrum, so our autistic kids. And what I do with them is I help them rediscover connection and acceptance, and bring a whole new level of understanding to this world that we are navigating. I am autistic myself, and so is my family, my husband and my 2 kids. And the kids also run ADHD, ADD wiring. And I live it. I have come from rock bottom. My family was literally falling apart 6-7 years ago. And as I say, my mess is now my message, and it's an absolute privilege, and I'm relentless in helping these families and leaving a legacy of just a whole new way of being. So thank you for organising this Global Happy Home Summit and answering the calling, because it is needed now more than ever. And as I say that, I've got goosebumps because my family needs it. I need it. You know, we all need it.
Yeah, thank you, Zoe. Thank you. And, you know, thank you for what you get to do too, because it's just so important, all of these families. And I love the perspective that you come from is really different to, you know, every speaker that I have in here is really different, which is perfect. And as a mum and what you get to do in this world, it is different again. So I guess we'll go into obviously your experience as a mum and what you've gone through too. But I first just wanted to touch on, at the moment in the last couple of weeks, in all the parents that you support and that have been coming to you, what are the trends? What are you seeing as the challenges and feelings and worries? What are you seeing?
Yeah. And you've nailed it there. It has really been like the last 2 weeks, especially here in Australia, in, you know, the world that I'm part of, things have really gone to a new level. And what I'm seeing is waves of fear and anxiety. So mothers who are feeling like, yep, I've got this, and then 10 minutes later, no, I haven't. There is so much projecting into the future, and I call it that we run off PowerPoints. We make this big PowerPoint about how homeschooling is going to be, because that's something that a lot of us are going to be facing in the next sort of 2 weeks. There's a lot of, and this is in the families I support, and it's happening here as well in my own family, that there is a trend and a pattern of adults, children assuming things, saying things, doing things that they generally wouldn't do, or they would at a much lower level. And these sort of actions or non-actions are fueled by, like fear and lack and uncertainty and our wiring system. I come with a very big disclaimer that I'm talking from, a certain wiring system of the autistic, sort of lineage. But so it's big, and the opportunity here is the forgiveness and cultivating a deeper level of acceptance. Like, I've talked about acceptance before. I've talked about understanding and connection before, and it's a big part of my message. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to get to that quicker. Here it is.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. We'll definitely touch on that then. So thank you for sharing everything that's going on for the families that you support. And it seems to be definitely a common thread through our families, right? And I guess the families that you support have children with special needs, and all of them, because your niche is autism. So for the parents that are watching now with children with autism, and these might be adults with autism themselves too, or suspect that as well. So what, I guess, for the children are they coming up against within the family home, or what are the parents concerned about with their children being home constantly, with the wiring that they have, and children such as yours too?
Yeah, I'm in it 24/7 here.
Yeah.
And this is going to look very different for everyone, and we know that, but I guess I just want to, bring that to the surface that, in my family here, it's like my children are polar opposites. Last week I had my daughter distraught because she wasn't going to school, and then my son, like, there is no way, come hell or high water, I would have got him to school even if he could go. So what's coming up, I know, is a definite common thread, is our kids, like COVID-19, if we even want to say that C word, doesn't just come along and give everyone like an up level of maturity. Our kids don't just sort of receive a gift on their last day of school with, more maturity and more understanding. What I'm finding is that in some cases they're actually taking a back step. I don't want to say digressing, but the levels they are at with their maturation and things, we're actually seeing a decline in that. And generally, the mothers are being clung to physically and emotionally more than ever.
Okay.
Their kids don't want to be out of their sight. Mum, watch this. Mum, I need this. Mum, 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 mum. And I've got some mothers who their kids are literally like climbing on top of them. And I know if they could get inside them again, they would. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that seems to be coming through a bit. And what do you feel is the reason for that, in case other parents are experiencing the same thing?
Yeah, like it's really where I'm at and my evolution and, my journey. I can grab the opportunities and see the positives. Maybe quicker than others, maybe not. But, it's something I might try and master every day, and I face, plan and fail. But what's happening a lot is each day, each week, something's being taken away. So our kids can't go to a park. They can't see their mates. They, not supposed to go to the beach. They can't go to school. So it's all this take away, take away, take away. And a lot of my tribe, my village, my world thrives on structure.
Yeah.
And maybe on the back of these 2 weeks holiday, there will be some more structure. But even though that structure, it's going to have fierce flexibility with it. So, and you touched on a really important point before when you said that you mentioned that there may be like autistic adults like me who are parenting, and then there's still so many adults who are undiagnosed or haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So they've got their own like 10x experiences, not that they're any different to someone who's not autistic.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of like a bit of that, compound effect.
Yeah. And so I guess for you and for your clients, what needs to be the focus then at this time?
Yeah, great question.
What's really important here and now then?
That's it. You've answered that question because you are a genius, and I tell you. So let's just bring that to the surface. That I use it a lot. The acronym WIN, WIN. What's important now?
Yeah.
And I can feel the tears coming up now. I've had a big week here. If you want to know the rawness of my life,
of course,
as a mother, as a business owner, as a wife. I have face planted a lot in trying to navigate this new reality for my family, because my husband, and this is a common thing in my clients who I'm helping, because I do have, dads as well.
Yeah.
They provide, protect and fix.
Yes.
And that's not too cool for them right now.
No.
At all. So they're doing their best. And then you've got the mother, #me. And my role is to nourish my family, my children and my husband, both emotionally and like physically, nutrition-wise.
Yeah.
And then I'm running my business and other mothers like going to work. And now what do we do with the kids at home? Now how are we going to homeschool? So I'm still doing what I did, and so is my husband. But with especially more me and the mothers, we get to pivot. So we're still alive. We're still the same age. We're still in the same house. Still got the same kids. So there's a lot that is the same. I just keep telling myself, you know what? You just get to pivot. Okay, that didn't work. Pivot again. And I just keep coming back to, like, what's important now? With grades, with their academic, with my clients, with my connection with my husband. Like, our roles as man and woman and parents are being tested more than ever, like #fact, like,
Yes.
So, and you always make a brilliant point that everything was already there.
Yeah.
And you always say this, it's just something comes along and like, so all this stuff has been there. And now it's just like, it's at the surface. So back to your question, I digress. I talk underwater, but what's important now is, and for me, when I've really delved into this question, especially overnight, I had an argument with my husband yesterday, which wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And it was a perfect platform, to set us off on our continuous evolution. So thank you. But what's important for me now is the emotional stamina of myself and the emotional ongoing health of my family.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
Yeah.
And And how do you get to work on that? How do you get to ensure that your emotional stamina, stamina being that it's consistent, which is practice, practice, practice. And as I always love you say that, because you're just honest and real, that you do face plant and it's just never going to be perfect. But how do you your emotional stamina?
Yeah, so this is something that everyone gets to ask themselves, especially now. What do I need? What do I need?
Okay.
And that's not a question generally, typically, as mothers that we're taught to ask ourselves as women, as humans, So it's what do I need? And I get to be, one hand in reality and one hand in gratitude. That's how I'm getting through all this. Yeah. And the reality is within my own constraints, which are very different to everyone else's. So we all get to go, right, what do I need? So for me, I need silence. 100% silence is my best friend.
Yeah.
And my ability to get that right now is challenging.
Sure.
100%. So, I used to work very set hours, Monday to Friday, these hours. So for me, I get to pivot. Now I'll be working 7 days a week, but reduced, those hours spread. And I'm like, it's cool. I'll be doing a couple hours work on Sunday, a couple Saturday. So for me, I've got no yoga, which is my all. Yeah. And that, so, it's all this stuff taken away. So now, and I sat down 2 days ago and I'm going to do more work on it tomorrow. What are my resources? So good question for everybody. What are your resources? Let's lay it on the table. And then what can you do? Because until you do that, you're just going to be ruminating around anyway and slipping into victim mode, which I've done many times this week. And so then I'll map it out. And my quiet time, my silence will be now more on the weekend when my husband's home.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I like the word pivot, definitely. And I definitely like the question that you've raised, and what do I need right now? And I think that that's a question where you can only really find the answers when you're in a calm space and you're not in this heightened space. And it's one when you are in that space quite often, or nearly all of the time, it's one that just doesn't come up for us. It just doesn't get asked of us. We don't ask it of ourselves. If I sat here and I asked myself that question, I'd have to sit here for quite a while too, So, for you, it's silence. Can you give some, I guess, ideas on or insights into, you work with a lot of mums. So what are some of the things that they have shared that they need, just in case people need some help in terms of finding that out for themselves, some ideas?
Oh, what I'm finding is that every mother that I'm working with at the moment is craving her own time.
Okay.
Time to herself, every one of them. The dads aren't so much, because they're wiring, they're so like provide, fix, protect, have I got, my job still and all this stuff. But it's the mum who's more in sort of the front line with all the noise and the chaos that is just craving for her own time. And that's going to look different to every mum. So what does time mean to you? Is it playing the cello in peace? Is it just having that one cup of tea for just 5 minutes? But see, until you sit down, as you said, and ask yourself the question and be honest with what are your resources, your reality right now, then you'll just keep floundering. And the gold with this is that when you say, what do I need? You then get to go to your family and say, what do you need? Which I have done. And I went to my children because they're needing so much more of me, more than like ever, you know, like, and I'm okay at bedtime, which can get a little messy for my husband. He gets up very early and I do a lot of stuff with them to, you know, settle them and massages and stuff. And I said, all right, well, what's the most important thing you need from me at bedtime? Because currently I do a fair bit of stuff, and reality is some nights I'm not going to be great. So what's the one thing? And my daughter, out of everything, just wants me to read to her. She can go without the chatting and go without the other stuff, but please just read. And then my son, please massage me with the oils. So cool. So I've now got my floor. I've got my ceiling, got my floor, asked my husband the same thing, told him what I need. We got, you know, I said to my son this morning, clear is kind. I think Brene Brown said that. And it's so true. Clear, just the more clear we can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful how you've just said that first, if we don't know what we need, we're actually not even going to consider what somebody else needs, because we don't see the value in it. We don't see the importance of it. It just doesn't occur to us. Like, it's not in our conscious thinking. So it's, that's a beautiful way of thinking of it. Really important question. And I'd highly recommend everyone watching, to really ask that question of yourself and everyone in your family today. We really, especially when it comes to children, I believe we underestimate their ability to say what they need and want. They certainly know. So thank you for that insight. That's really great. So I guess, you know, you have an array of frameworks and areas that you work from and pull your techniques from and your skills when you're working with parents. And I guess what would be the top tips, you know, for now in terms of reducing some of that fear mode and just trying to find some of that peace, you know, calming that nervous system, so like really calming that down and getting out of our fear response? What for you is so important to do that? Basic things that you would suggest.
Yeah, basic things. You know, I wrote a letter to my husband this morning. I haven't given it to him yet, but I had some time to be able to go down to the beach and have my coffee and do a few things. And I said in that coming back to our confidence, times like this, we can really lose our confidence. And the same thing happened at diagnosis of my kids, like 6 whatever years ago. You know, I got to diagnosis and it was like our confidence as parents was severed.
Sure.
And so was our intuition. And that was because that was for us, and I find it common for other families, that there's just so much chaos and noise and so much stuff, opinions and news and this and that, and it's happening now. So I would be really, really mindful of what you're letting in.
Yes.
I've had a mother this week that has gone off Facebook, taken it off. She's a nurse and, you know, she's front line. She's got kids, you know, and it was just too much. And I said, what would a week look like? Like, what joy is that bringing you right now? And it was none because of how she's feeling.
Yeah.
So she's gone off it for a week. So I'd just be mindful of what we're letting in, be intentional, because that's going to calm our central nervous system. And our amygdalas already, like an autistic amygdala is just fried as far as I'm concerned. It's an art to calm it down. It's on high alert. There's a lot of reasons. So everyone in the world's amygdalas would be on a higher level of alert, no matter where they are, in there. I guess, the monks in a cave are probably going all right, and thank goodness they're praying for us.
Yeah.
Thank you. But, how can we, and you brought it up, and thank you, our central nervous system. So when we can quieten down and we can get rid of all that stuff, we're going to reconnect with our confidence, and we're going to be able to remember that, we're intelligent men, we're intelligent fathers, we're intelligent mothers. Shit's got crazy, but none of that takes away from before this, your intuition and confidence, it was there. And I think when we are intentional with what we are doing with our time and what we are numbing with, because we're all numbing with something.
Certainly.
So just to go, okay, wow, that was a big numbing experience. Okay, cool. Let's move on.
Yeah, amazing.
Is there any of that?
Yeah, definitely. I really like the, what you're letting in is really important to take note of. Absolutely, what you're letting in.
Yeah.
And then I guess, and removing some stuff, because as we speak about this from time to time, once you remove something, it allows space for something new to show up. And right now we need as much space in our mind as possible to see those creative solutions that are there, but we just can't see because we are in fear mode. So I really like that. Yeah.
What I love about, I use Facebook in a very specific way. I love it. I am intentional. It's a business platform for me, 100%. So I get in there, I do my jam, but I am particular of, I am going to those pages and to those people that are helping pick up my vibe, pick up my frequency, spread the love. I'm human too, so it's just, and this is the great news, that if you start being super intentional with this now, then you're going to carry it on the other side of this, winner.
Yeah, definitely, with a whole lot more ease than before, I believe. Yeah. So I guess, we've gone through some practices and things that will support parents and get them through, and try and think of some new things that will calm them and bring some space to their minds. Do you, as a mum, Zoe, as someone who is experiencing this, as you say, frontline 24 hours a day, all of the time, children with complex needs and autism, is there anything else that you feel like needs to be shared right now, or that parents need to hear in this moment that has been ringing true for you over the last couple of weeks?
It's a big question. I can feel it is. I love a cry.
That's perfect.
Yeah, look, we wrote on and I can feel the tears now, which is completely fine, but we wrote on our fence the other day that love wins, and it's going to get messy here. I can future and manifest and do all I want.
Yeah.
But you know what? In my house, in the mothers and the fathers that I support and serve, it's going to get messy. And it's already gotten messy, and it's already beautiful. And there's been huge moments of connection, huge moments of, love and just all that stuff. But you know what? There's already been a bucket load of trauma and a bucket load of stuff you don't want to see in, that your kids go through. And love, to me, has taken on a whole new meaning. Not a whole new meaning, I guess it's just really, it's like encompassed. Now what love to me is connection, understanding, acceptance, and forgiveness. And it is like I say to my clients, we are a pendulum. We are going to fall down. How quickly can we return to love? So how quickly can we return to those things?
Yeah.
You know what? Because right here, we're a family. You know, I've been married to my husband for 12 years, with him for around 20, and it's great and it's messy. But all of us here at Team Martin, we love each other and we are committed, Scott and I, to the end. So you know what? It's going to get messy. And so much of it is just going to be fueled by what's happening.
Yeah.
And how quickly can we return to love?
I really love that. If only everyone could see my face, because there's definitely a big smile on my face, because I think that's the most beautiful question. How quickly can I return to love right now? And that's magic, so really is. Thank you for sharing that. And that's just another piece of inner dialogue that everyone can take on today. Start altering those internal dialogue stories that we have, and start asking these questions that actually serve you. So questions like what you've shared: what do I need right now? That question, what does my family need right now? And also, how quickly can I return to love in this moment? Or how quickly can I return to love today? So that's so beautiful. I think that's a beautiful message to end on, but I feel like I need to still go to a place that's really important, and that's the A word, and it's acceptance. And it's a huge, it's just huge. It's massive in every way, in every form. Acceptance of your children, acceptance of who they are, who they aren't, acceptance of who your partner is, who they are, who they aren't, yourself, who you are and who you aren't. So, you know, for you, that journey of acceptance, can you share a bit about that? Because I think it's something that's really important to reflect upon.
Wow, acceptance, holy dooly. Oh, you pulled out the big gun. I hope we're finishing on this one. I don't want to make more bigger ones than this.
It is. This is the finishing line.
I'm holding you to that. Oh, my journey of acceptance. You know, it's come up again this week. It's just going to continue to come up. You know, that's the great news about this human experience. And, you know, when I can keep shedding my layers and keep doing, you know, the work within and on myself, accepting the past, the parts of me that would be easier not to. And I say easier not to, yet the run-on effect, not cool. But it's when I can lean in and have that inner knowing, you know, and an inner knowing for me is a feeling. It's not just, oh yeah, I know that. That inner knowing that if I could have done better, I would have. Reality, you know. And I can say this, and this is something I am working hard on, cultivating this feeling for every single human being in humanity, everyone, no matter who they are or what they have or haven't done. And yeah, life goals. But when I can bring it back to myself, then that helps me accept myself. And then it helps me be able to accept, you know, my husband and my children. And it's a really, and, you know, you're so intuitive. And, you know, there was a moment here this week, and I did a post about it that I think it was titled, you know, today was shit. And there was something happened with my son, and it was big. And I laid on his bed after he, you know, wasn't no longer in his room. And I laid there looking out the window, and I said, I don't like him, as I swallow. And I haven't had that feeling for about 7 years.
Okay.
And as a mother, to have that feeling about your own child, I just wanted to like get out of myself, literally just get out of myself. And then the opportunity there was to go, wow, that's a red flag. 100% that's a red flag for me, that I am projecting that onto him. And it all came back to, you know what? I didn't like me that day. So there's the gold for me. And I never stop digging till I've got it. Sometimes it takes me 10 years, but I'll get it. Then, like, there's the gold.
Yeah.
And there went to, you know, put my work hat on and, you know, there's my red flag, and off I go on another journey of acceptance that, you know what, in that moment, I did the best I could. And this is something that my husband and I are talking about a lot when it comes to my son and helping, because the males, you know, like, bless them, far out. The way they're wired, they've got way more hurdles, my opinion, to overcome than we do as mothers when it comes to children and their wiring in this autism world. Far out, majority of the time. So when I can bring it back to me and go, you know what, if I could have done better, I would have. I believe that in myself. And I'm believing that more and more in every person in humanity. So for me, it's that knowing that, you know what, if I could have done better, I would. That's acceptance for me. And then I can then lay that out to my family and then to the next layer and then continue that out.
Wow. I really appreciate you going there, Zoe, and being so open and vulnerable. And I know that, you know, within the work that I've done with families and parents, it's those thoughts that are the scariest to verbalize. And it's those thoughts that come with all of the guilt and the shame, and then that it's a cycle, right? And so thank you for bringing language to it, and thank you for bringing some sort of a beautiful opportunity within a thought like that, because that's what can show up if you choose to take it on. And thank you for showing us how to do that and sharing the opportunity. Yeah, so that's a really wonderful end. Thank you, Zoe.
You're welcome.
And so my two finishing questions are pretty easy. So we've tackled the hard stuff. So they are just, within the last couple of weeks, what have been the opportunities within all of this stuff that's happened for you?
Yeah. I have never spoken to my husband so much in 20 years. Seriously.
Amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. And he's loved the conversations because they've been really factual. He'd be happy if I didn't talk. No, he probably would a little bit. We all know that. But I've gone to him and, you know, said, like, what do you do? Is there anything you need from me, physically or emotionally? And he's really liked that.
Yeah.
And because that's all I've said. Or I've gone to him and gone, okay, what do you think about putting this in place? Or I need to work these hours. Can you help me then? So in all this last 2 weeks, we've communicated more than ever. Yes, we had that stuff go on yesterday, and thank you, because we're better, even more committed today. But we have been problem solving and coming up with solutions together. We've talked about money, about him, the possibility of losing his job.
Yeah.
I've been able to hold space for him. So like that has been amazing. And, you know, the other opportunity has been within my business. You know, it's like now it's like I'm needed more than ever. And I really love that, because my work, it is such an important part of who I am. And for me to deny that is to deny me. So for me to be able to serve has been just had a profound impact on me. And, you know, and you said to me yesterday I was having a tough day, that today would be the best medicine for me, and it has been. And the other opportunity, the other blessing in this is that I ran a story for years and years and years and years that I couldn't homeschool my children. No way. Not doing it. Cannot do it. Like back 5 years ago when I thought my son would not be able to go to school.
Yeah.
No, can't do it. End of story. No, not doing it.
Yeah.
And then here I am, and a couple of months ago, I was walking and I had this epiphany, because I help a couple of mums who have taken their children out of school and homeschool them, and I've witnessed their journey, and they were the future, leaving me clues that, you know what, and I had this epiphany one day that I could do it. I could do it. I'll do it my own way.
Sure.
Might be great, might not be. And then here comes COVID-19, and in 2 weeks' time I'm homeschooling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be really cool for a lot of parents who have got children on the spectrum that haven't had the guts to try homeschooling, that they're going to be forced to, and it just might be the best damn thing that's ever happened to their kids and to them.
Yeah.
And it might be the opposite.
Yes.
Yes, and.
Yes, and both fine. Yeah. But I really thank you for bringing light to that. You're exactly right. You know, they're being forced to have an opportunity. Yeah. And you're right, it may be the best damn thing in the world, because I have friends with children on the spectrum, and school was incredibly challenging. The second that they started being homeschooled, their behaviours completely changed. Completely. Their whole family completely changed. So there is an opportunity within this. So thank you for bringing light to that. And the final thing is what does a happy home look and feel like to you, Zoe?
You know, I just love your branding. Happy home. When it's like, sign me up. Home. Oh, bring it on. Happy home feel like to me? Oh, I feel a bit emotional today, which is cool. What's new? A happy home is, for me, right now, is a home where we are all seen, we feel seen and heard and understood, because here in my team, Martin, we are all loved. So that's not a worry, or I don't get to focus on that. But for everyone, including me, you know,
yeah, my
husband and my kids, to feel understood and seen and heard, that's going to be happy. And can I just say that last night we played a card game, no fights.
Go to Martin.
I know Billy did have to go early because he had a phone call. Like, oh my God, he's 10 and he's got a phone call. I'm like, oh yeah, you go, mate. But so here we go. Tim Martin playing cards, and we didn't have a fight. Let someone note that down, please.
We've got to hear on the recording forever. Forever. That is such a wonderful end, and your insights have been absolutely invaluable, Zoe, and I know that they will no doubt touch the hearts and the souls of so many parents watching and tuning into this and tuning into the replay. And if you do have questions or comments, then place them in here or contact us personally. If it's something that you don't want to have shown to the world, it's completely fine. But I thank you so much for being here, Zoe, and I love hearing from you and your insights all of the time.
Thank you, and thank you. And I'm so grateful. And, you know, you heard the call and you answered it. And I am just so beyond grateful for what you've done. And it must just be a huge amount of work. And I just thank you, because I'm going to go back and watch them all. And you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. And yeah, I love you very much, and the world needs you. And thank you for answering the call.
Thank you, Zoe. I love you too very much.
And I didn't cry.
But where can people find you if they'd like to find out more about your work, Zoe, or just about you?
Yeah. Look, best place is on Facebook at the moment. You can search zoemartin.com. I do have a website, which is a little outdated, being revamped, but yeah, zoemartin.com.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Zoe.
Thank
so
you.
much love for you. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. See you at 2:30 for Cam McDonald, who is the CEO of PH360, and he'll be sharing some incredible insights into biological profiling, which is a framework that I use within the coaching of my families. And this is going to provide absolute solutions and answers to many things that you've been pondering on about yourself and your family. So I'll catch you then. Bye for now.